want to start by thanking everyone for being here today. If you can't hear me at any point,
We can't hear you. Yeah, can somebody who knows how to use our speaker turn it up? All the way up.
on that mic. And I'll yell and I'll keep this mic real close. I want to invite everyone who it feels safe to do so to actually take one more giant step close to each other. We really want to feel the connection in this circle here this evening, and so as close as it feels safe and comfortable to get to those around you, I want to invite you to feel that closeness. I'm going to start us off with a moment of inviting us to notice our connection to the land. And I want to invite everyone to just feel the presence of that earth underneath your body. And to really notice that no matter how much we may be spiraling in fear, in anger, in grief, how much we may be spinning or overwhelmed in a moment, that dirt and that earth is always there underneath you. So I just want to invite everyone to take a moment to take in the gift of what is beneath you, receiving your gravity at all times. And as we notice the earth, I also want to take a moment to acknowledge the stewards of this land, the Dakota people whose homeland this is, the Anishinaabe people, the Ho-Chunk people, and there are others. Those who have existed in relationship with this land for so many generations, who are in an ongoing fight against genocide and displacement. And I want to also invite us to have a moment of noticing for each person in this circle the ways that Native and Indigenous-led liberation struggles have taught you about how to be a protector, about how to resist, about how to stay. And just notice gratitude and lineage that is supporting us here. And next, I want to invite each of us to notice, in addition to Native and Indigenous-led struggles for liberation, for sovereignty, for land, the full spectrum of teachers, of lineages, of ancestors, of histories that have taught you how to look around and know in your guts, how to know in your kishkas the difference between right and wrong, how to know what oppression and injustice looks like when you see it. I want you to invite all of that support to come close, to really be with us in holding this circle, and I want you to take a moment to feel that support at your back. Who and what is with you, is holding you. And as you feel into yours, feel into the collective circle that surrounds our circle. In a moment, this lovely human right here, oh, I didn't say my name. My name is Leela. I use she and her pronouns. I am one of a group of people that made a decision last night to invite you all here today. In a moment, this lovely human right here, is going to say some words about why we decided to do this, at this day, at this time, in this place. But before I hand it over to her, I just want to share that we made the decision to invite you all here today to do a ritual that is public, a ritual that has a message intended for it. And we invited you here to do that because we believe it is a radical act to take a moment to slow down, to breathe, to feel our feelings, to feel the histories alive inside of us, to feel the connections that are holding us. And so that means that you are really invited in the next little bit of time that we are together to clear away the ways that you know you need to think about what to do and what to say and how to act and how to show up. But we are inviting you to clear some space inside of that for this moment, and you get to be as you are. And you get to bring all of what your journey through the last couple of days, what has been stirred up inside of you in response to the violence in Israel and in Gaza, to just be what's true. So I'm going to invite Or to share some words.
Thanks, Leila. Hi, everyone. As Leila said, my name is Or Levinson, they, them. I live not far south of here, and as Leila also named, this is an action and a ritual and a gathering that's coming together very rapidly. And I just want to take a moment to name that it feels rapid but not at all hasty or haphazard, and the strength of the heart and the connections and the authentic seeding and building together that we've done in this community as Jews, as queer Jews, as Jews who stand fiercely in opposition to Zionism, that's no small thing. And that really the seeds we've planted go a long way when moments like this call us to jump into action as quickly as is safe and compassionate and responsible to do so. So I really want to offer immense love and gratitude to this community. It is no small thing that we're here together tonight. So thank you. I want to say a little bit more about our decision to be here in this way tonight. At this moment, there is a different gathering happening a little further away, just outside of the city. There's an Am Yisrael Chai event that is about Jews standing first and foremost and only for Israel. And it felt extremely important to us to provide as visible of a counter narrative as we possibly can, acknowledging that our Jewish community and those who love us is vast. There are so many different experiences being had and being held right now. We really, really, really honor how much grief is in the air. And it is so important for us to gather in a way that shows the world and shows those who would co-opt our grief and co-opt our fear that Zionism does not stand for Judaism. Zionists do not speak for all of us. And the decision to stand up and say, we will fight tooth and nail to protect the violence that Israel has been doing as a nation state, this is not something we can have done in our name. There are other Jewish narratives. There are other Jewish ways of being. There always have been and there always will.
That's right. Yes.
And it's extremely important that the world and our leaders and our governments and our media hear us say that right now and see us show up for that right now. You get to take a breath because I'm taking a breath and I'm reorienting to my notes. We want to name and call into the space an awareness of the brutal occupation and apartheid that has been going on in Palestine for 70 years. And we want to call in the memory of colonial violence that was happening to set the stage for that in Palestine before the state of Israel. This goes back far and it runs deep. We are gathering first and foremost tonight to grieve. Our hearts are broken. And we also really want to honor that for many of us in this circle tonight, part of our practice this week is really about stretching our nervous systems in deeply painful and challenging ways to hold so many truths at once, to hold our yearning to watch the walls fall, to hold our yearning to watch fences be bulldozed and prison breaks happen, and for that to continue. We're yearning also for an end to the cycles of violence that we see playing out generation after generation. We're holding this alongside knowing that some of us have friends and family who are missing, who are murdered. We're holding our deep, deep, deep desire for a future, for Olam Haba, for the world to come, where Zionism and apartheid are no more. We're holding the immensity of the fear and the challenge that comes with how hard it is to envision from this moment how the fuck we're gonna get there. All of these feelings are so true, and we are stretching to hold them all, and it is a lot. We just want to name that we see you, and we know everyone here is showing up with a lot. And it means the world to us to continue to hold each other and be with each other in this way. I'm gonna pass the mic. And I want to invite you, as we shift more into grieving space and ritual space. Yes, this is about media and coverage and narrative. We're fighting for the narrative right now, and it's so important, and we're so grateful for the media support and coverage tonight. That said, this is not just about optics. As we transition into ritual space and grieving space, if you want your hands free and you want to move in a different way, please lay your signs down. It's okay. You can lay them around the altar in the center to make it so they're still present in our space. But really don't feel attached to the signage if that's not suiting you to participate in grief space. So with that, I want to pass it to Jessica.
So, my name is Rabbi Jessica. My name is Rabbi Jessica. I'm so honored to be part of this community. So we are bringing together a mix of Jewish rituals tonight, really with the intention of sitting Shiva. So many lives have been lost. And when Jews sit Shiva, what we know is that the grief and rage, we don't have to hold it alone. We hold it in community. And our tradition, millennia of tradition, teaches us to come together and to hold that grief together. Usually we do it in our own homes, and we're doing it here today together on this corner to not have to hold it alone, but to hold it in community and to hold it with people who are not here but wish to be here. So thank you for being in ritual space with us. I think Leela is gonna invite in some different ways to hold and process our grief in this time.
So I'm gonna try to bring us into some ritual space and might repeat some things that I've said before. because we have cameras on. We're out here on this very public street corner, right? We made this decision to stand here visibly. And what we're inviting each of you to join us in this moment is to actually tap into the vulnerability of what has been happening for you the last couple of days and what's up in you in this moment. As Jessica just named, there are folks in this circle who have lost people in the last few days. There are folks in this circle whose beloveds are missing. There's folks in this circle whose beloveds are being bombed, are experiencing terror in this moment. And we really want to hold the complexity of the experience of having to be so careful with our grief, of when there is a violent occupation of Palestine that has an elaborate system in place looking to take our grief and our rage and use it to justify more violence. And so we are here to say that we will not allow that, and we will take the time to care for our hearts and our bodies so we have the strength and the resource to know what we need to do, where we need to be to continue to resist. And so right now we really want to invite folks to open up to the vulnerability of what you're bringing with you. We have some different ways that we're going to invite you to do that, but just first, just take a moment. I want to invite everybody to wiggle a little. I can feel the sense that we have of being watched. And I want to invite each of you to trust yourself that you can let this vulnerability be seen, because we're going to hold it together. And that there's power in it, and that there's medicine in it. And so in the next moment, we're going to invite you to share into the circle in some different ways the grief that you're holding. In the middle of this circle, there is cloth and charcoal, and you can write on the cloth and charcoal. You can lay it out in the circle, or you can hold on to it. We have bay leaves here, and we brought these bay leaves. There's a practice that was taught to some of us by Dory Midnight, an amazing teacher. It's a Sephardic practice of letting bay leaves offer clearing of that which is not yours to hold. So the bay leaves are specifically here. You can write something on them. There will be a chance to burn them, but something that you're clearing from your space, from your energy, so that there's more space for you to step into what you need to step into. There are stones here. You can take a stone, hold a stone, place a stone, and there will be an opportunity to name out loud in relationship with these objects the grief that folks in this circle are holding. So I'm just going to move around the circle and offer the mic to folks who want to name a sentence, a few words or a sentence of the grief that is on your heart in this moment.
I'm grieving for family members of mine that can't hold the complexity, and that in order to grieve need to villainize. And I'm grieving the way that they give up part of their humanity in villainizing people, because human life is sacred.
I'm grieving for the fact that occupation and apartheid make violence inevitable, and that people seem to keep pretending that they're not forms of ongoing violence, and that somehow that peace is going to be accepting that unacceptable violence rather than changing it, and the just continual need for people to understand that these things are wrong, and also that there's solutions that people aren't taking.
I'm grieving for all of the time we don't have to do the slow, deep, hard work.
I'm grieving for all those who are without water right now tonight in Gaza.
I'm grieving a loss of trust between me and some movement spaces that I've admired or participated in that will not condemn the rape and degradation of Israeli civilians.
I'm grieving a lot, but I'm grieving the death of someone I grew up with as a result of everything going on. And I'm also grieving for everyone who doesn't have electricity or medical care or water or basic needs right now.
We're going to keep it moving, but really want to encourage folks to come into the center and also interact with other ways of sharing your griefs.
I'm grieving all of the lost lives, Israeli and Palestinian, in the past several days and the horrific circumstances that made it possible.
Lament people who are frightened at a time that is, I lament the people who are frightened at this time that is surely a turning point in the conflict because of the great deal of uncertainty that is to come in the weeks or years to come.
I'm grieving the death of 3 of my coworkers in Gaza this week. I'm a humanitarian worker in the Middle East. I'm grieving my friend who's a Palestinian Israeli citizen who had a baby last week and her grandfather died in Gaza. 2 of her Israeli students are missing. And I'm grieving that my childhood Hebrew teacher is missing.
Grieving how much the occupation has made it hard for me to love being Jewish. I'm grieving how much the occupation has made it hard for me to love being Jewish.
I'm grieving that Jews here in Palestine, in Israel, and around the world are made to defend themselves against accusations of anti-Semitism simply for resisting, standing up, and speaking out against the occupation.
I'm grieving for my grandfather, who can never go back and won't talk to us about the family friends that he has lost. And I'm grieving for my friend Esther, Palestinian Jewish woman who doesn't feel safe in either space.
I'm grieving for loved ones of family and family who are doing their best to give updates, but really busy just helping neighbors right now.
I'm grieving and scared for my family, and I don't want them to be called into reserves or sent to Gaza or to Lebanon. I'm also grieving and really scared for my Palestinian friends, especially the family from Gaza that are barely able to talk with their family when possible for like a few minutes or when there's electricity. And the last time this happened, mental health was like really, really, really hard.
Thank you for everything that was named and for everything that wasn't named that is on our hearts. We welcome that grief into our space and into our circle as well.
Thank you, Leela. My name is Sharon, and can you hear me? So often it's hard to speak the grief, and I am really honored that so many people here did and listened. It's very powerful, heartbreaking. And I'm also grateful to watch people come into the center and light candles or take electric candles or rocks. In 1992, I was invited into another powerful vigil that was organized by Palestinians in Boston. Israel had done something atrocious, as it has done for 70 years. And people walked in a circle and held the grief and the powerlessness and the power of being together. And so the invitation now is to do that in a kind of a way. Margot is going to play sometimes while we walk, and sometimes we'll be in silence, and sometimes not. The purpose is so often in the face of grief and in this I would call it part of a white supremacist patriarchal colonializing empire, the military occupation of Palestine. It's so easy to not be able to hold all the feelings that people have shared. But that's part of what this walk in solidarity is going to do. So if some of you can't walk because if you're like me, your hip is out a little or whatever, but we're going to try and just kind of walk around in a circle a couple of times for as long as it takes to really feel the feelings and know what it is that you know even deeper than what we've already heard. And to start, and go back to something I think Leela said about the earth. We are all supported by the earth, quite literally. Our bodies are made of minerals and water of the earth. The earth is a storehouse of abundance. The earth is also hurting. And to take a minute and feel into your body. What is your body holding right now in terms of the grief? What is your body holding right now in terms of the courage to come here? What is your body feeling in relation to knowing that there's probably 1,000 Jews over at the Federation's event? They did not want to even include grief for Israeli Palestinians. They were asked. Feel into your body kind of a connection of political, spiritual, personal, public reality. I think to do this walk, I'm going to ask the people holding the signs move out a bit so that you can hold the container. And as we walk, it's also kind of wonderful to look in the center at the signs. Or to hold it and see it when you're walking around with each other. For those that don't feel comfortable walking, invite you into the center of the circle.
lots of people all at once. For the where? This is a Shiva.
I want to invite everyone to join me in singing this Nigun to close. We'll close it.
Thank you, Sharon, my teacher. So we're going to say the mourner's kaddish now, ancient words in Aramaic that Jews use to grieve, that a prayer that mostly speaks about life and our love of life. And it is a reminder in this moment that our love of revolution, our desire for freedom, and our grief can be held together, can be held at once. That we are no less the freedom fighters for mourning and weeping. In fact, our love of each other, our love of the land, our love of our people and our ancestors and our community, that is why we fight. That's what we're here for, because we believe in a world where all people can be free and all people can be safe. And so as we grieve, we say these words to honor the struggle for Palestinian liberation, Jewish longings for safety, all people's longings for home and liberation and justice. There are pieces of paper coming around. If these words come on your lips with ease, or you want to read on the paper, please join me. You can also just listen to the rhythm of these ancient words and know that our ancestors have taught us how to grieve and have taught us how to fight, and we will be doing both. So for all those whose lives have been lost, who have been killed, whose names we don't yet know, who have been killed for this violent system, Israelis and Palestinians who have been killed all because of this Israeli settler colonial system. For you, we pray and honor. Yitgidal v'yitgadash shemei Rabbah, v'yalmad yivrach yirtei v'yamlich malkutei, v'hayekon v'yamekon v'chayei tokol beit Yisrael, v'gadalav yizman kariv v'yiru amen. Yemei shmei Rabbah v'morach le'olam omein omayah. Yisrach v'yishavach v'yisahar v'yisram v'yisnaseh v'yishadar v'yishaleh v'yishalal shmei kedusha v'riklu le'elam b'kol birchata shirata v'shafata v'nechmata v'miran le'oma v'yiru amen. Yidei shlama rabba v'yishamaya v'chayim aleinu v'kol Yisrael v'yiru amen. Shalom v'Olam, Yaseh Shalom, Aleinu v'Kol Yisrael, v'Kol Beit Yisrael, Amen. We sing you healing, we sing you care, we sing you justice. We sing you prayer, we sing you healing, we sing you care, we sing you justice, we sing you prayer. We pray for healing, those words. Please, the divine source, bring healing. We beg, we ask. So we're going to close tonight in another moment in song. Before we do that, I want to extend deep gratitude for all of you. I get to look around. Everyone maybe look around a little at this incredible community that came out in a day. Think about all the folks who couldn't be here in this time and how many of us there are. We're not alone. In the coming days, there will be more invitations. Originally, this was an idea to have like a private living room grief time where we get to share our feelings, where we get to spill out all the words on our heart. And be very close, and that will be happening in the coming days. Ray, you want to wave? Yeah, Ray's gonna host us and others and some of that, but if that's something that you're interested in coming closer to, come talk to us. There will be opportunities for action in solidarity with Palestine, calling for the much needed end of U.S. aid to and blank check to Israel and sending arms to Israel. There will be there are some actions on Thursday. There will surely be more in the days to come. Students for Justice in Palestine, among others, will be organizing actions. You can follow Jewish Voice for Peace, Twin Cities. We'll be resharing some of those, and many other organizations that you probably already know on the internet will be resharing many things. It's easier to come to things when you have someone to come with. So I just want to invite everyone to look around and see your buddies and continue to show up with your crew, with your people. There will be opportunities we know that Gaza is going to be in deep need of aid, of medical aid. So I want to shout out, there are already groups doing fundraising for Gaza, and I hope some of us will be organizing to send aid, mutual aid and care there. There will be a whole wide range of ways to show up in these coming times. There will be hard conversations that we're all having with our people. I want to invite us to, again, look around and picture the circle and picture each of us at our back when we have those hard conversations. There are more ways to show up that I can even name, but whatever we do, we will do it together. Oh, you're saying louder. Okay, great. Did I get louder? Okay. What I want to say is keep showing up. This is one way to be together, and we're going to keep being together.
How do people get plugged in?
Oh, how do people get plugged in? If you want more ritual space and anti-Zionist Jewish ritual, cultural, spiritual space, come talk to me after, and I'll get you plugged in. 2 ways of hearing about that. And there are so many brilliant organizers here, I know, who probably just turn to the person next to you and find out what they're doing. Do whatever the person next to you is doing. With profound gratitude for all of the folks who jumped in to make this possible and everything else that everyone is doing to amplify the voices of Palestinians struggling to have their stories be told and their struggle be uplifted, and all of those who are honoring all the grief and all of the love. Thank you so much for being here. We're going to close with a song that Riv is going to lead us in.
Hi, everyone. Music has been really helping me get through the impossible grief and despair of this moment. And this song in particular came back into my circuit today. It's from Ali Halpert, a young queer Jewish musician on the East Coast. And the words come from Arundhati Roy, that another world is not only possible, on a quiet day, I can hear her breathing. And Ali Halpert says she is on her way. This world is on her way. And this is a really, really hard moment for me to feel belief in that. And I'm hearing assent. And we can only create what we can imagine. And so those of us who are able to hold space for the possibility of that world being on her way, that might change from moment to moment who is available to hold that among us. And collectively, we can hold it together and we can hold each other up in that. So I'm going to teach it a little bit in hopes that, this last moment together tonight, we can really send our voices, stimulate our vagus nerves, and feel our unity here together, praying for this world, trusting that this world is coming. So a little call and response. Another world's not only possible, another world's not only possible. On a quiet day, I can hear her breathing. On a quiet day, I can hear her breathing. Another world's not only possible. Another world's not only possible. On a quiet day, I can hear her breathing. On a quiet day, I can hear her breathing. She is on her way, on her way. I'll start over. I'll break it down. She is on her way. She is on her way, on her way. Try that out together. She is on her way, on her way. Together, another world's not only possible. Another world's not only possible. On a quiet day, I can hear her breathing. Another world's not only possible. On a quiet day, I can hear her. She is on her way, on her way. She is on her way, on her way. Another world's not only, the parts go together too. So pick your part. On a quiet day, I can hear her breathing. Another world's not only possible. On a quiet day, I can hear her. She is on her way, on her way. She is on her way, on her way. On her way, on her way. She is on her way. Can you hear that song? May it be so.
Thank you all for joining. This is Nico from Unicorn Riot. Thank you, Chris, for running the back end. This was a Shiva Solidarity Shiva for the lives lost in Palestine and Israel over these last few days. This was organized by Anti-Zionist Jews in the Twin Cities. Go to our website, unicornriot.ninja, to learn more. We've been covering issues from Palestine for over a year now, and we have a vast trove of media from Palestine, so check that out at unicornriot.ninja. We also have other media that's just published and that is coming out. So thank you all for tuning in. This is Nico from Unicorn Riot. We're going to bring stream down, and you all have a great night. If you want to learn more about the situation, stay tuned for Unicorn Riot, where we'll have some more coverage from the Gaza, Palestine, and from the conflict that's currently unfolding. Thank you all.